Hello and welcome to Iftinka Aqliga. So I will be creating a series of videos. It is going to go over the topic of Daqan, which is cultural rehabilitation for Somalis and Somali youth in general. It was a long video for me to record. I will be breaking it up as a series of videos, video articles, documentary of sorts if you're interested. But I will be releasing these videos once a week because the editing is taking a lot of work and I wanted to release them in bite-sized forms, focusing on different parts of Daqan Elis. And so weekly, I will be releasing little snippets of this Daqan Elis series, breaking it apart over time, and hopefully trying my best to drive home why Daqan Elis is an incredibly barbaric, dangerous practice that is an outright human rights violation. I do want to provide a trigger warning. Some of the things that are going to be discussed here are going to involve abuse, child abuse, human trafficking, sexual abuse, trauma, substance abuse. So there's a lot of difficult topics that are going to be covered, and I really wanted to go into as much depth as I possibly can go through. Some things to keep in mind. I am not the sole expert on Daqan Alis. My perspective is coming from being someone who's researched Daqan Alis in depth and has also talked to many different Somali people and Somali youth as well, and researching the experiences and stories of many Somali youth who have experienced Daqan Alis. And I wanted to share my thoughts and some of the stories that I've come across. I also wanted to include a big portion of why I'm doing this, covering Daqan Alis, and why I do Iftinka Aqliga in general is that this serves as a part of my healing. And one part of that, about why I want to discuss Daqan Alis, is because I am a survivor of Daqan Alis. For me, discussing my thoughts on Daqan Alis and sharing the stories of other people and sharing my story as well is hopefully going to be a form of healing for me, and hopefully by extension healing for other people who are survivors of Daqan Alis. The itinerary of topics to be covered are going to go as such. So we're going to define what is Daqan Alis. We're going to go over where does Daqan Alis occur, the motivations for Daqan Alis, what are the driving factors for Daqan Alis. We'll go over the cultural expectations leading to Daqan Alis, the cultural and religious expectations leading to Daqan Alis. We'll go over the implications as a result of the Somali Civil War and that being one of the drivers for Daqan Alis. We'll go over religious trauma syndrome, the vulnerable population, so who is the demographics that are targeted for Daqan Alis. We'll go over that demographic. We'll go over the reasons for Daqan Alis, the multitude of reasons, so that is going to be a very long portion of the video. If you can sit through it, we'll go over the tactics that are used to facilitate the methods for luring people into Daqan Alis. We'll talk about what happens during Daqan Alis, the many different forms it can take, and some of the different forms of abuse that happen. We'll go over the consequences of Daqan Alis, there are a multitude of those, so I'll go over those in as much depth as I possibly can. And then the last portion is going to be on the stories of Somali youth, Somali children who have gone through Daqan Alis. I've scoured the internet to come up with a couple of stories of Somali youth, Somali children who've gone through Daqan Alis, some who have survived and some who have not. And I wanted to highlight their stories so that they are not forgotten, and that Daqan Alis is a very harmful practice that needs to go away. And lastly, I'm going to go over the recovery process for Daqan Celis, that it is possible, and ways of healing for survivors of Daqan Celis. So it's going to be a very long one. If you are, it might be very triggering if you are a survivor of Daqan Celis. I just want to give you a warning ahead of time that there's a trigger warning, and please be cautious as you go through this content. It might be very as straightforward as I possibly can. Some of it might be like streams of thought, so I might just go over tying together many different experiences, many different schools of thought and approaches, and this is going over my desire to take Iftinka Aqliga towards a more multidisciplinary approach, because things in life do not happen in a vacuum, and so there are more than one ways to explain a concept or a phenomenon that's occurring. And so I just wanted to give that a heads up on that. If you're interested to hear about my thoughts on Daqan Celis, I also have an article written up. It's very long. It's almost like a research paper, and so it's very extensive. That is paid, and this video is going to be coming from that article that I've written. But if you're interested in reading the article, you're going to have to pay for it, and I'm pretty sure not many people want to pay for it. That's okay. The videos are going to be a good enough of an understanding of what the article contains. I hope that you stick around for this. So thank you so much for listening, and comment and subscribe if you want me to discuss different parts of the Daqan Celis that go outside our itinerary, and let me know if the cadence will work for weekly releases. I might be delayed here or there as I'm busy in my own life, but I will try to go through this as methodically as I possibly can. So thank you so much for listening. Comment and subscribe, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.